Can someone please tell me why David is still free? It's been more than a month now since the news broke that a car that belonged to David that was in his name was found at an impound with a dead, decomposing body in it. The body was 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
More than a week after a body was found inside an impounded Tesla registered to the singer who goes by the stage name David, Los Angeles investigators identifying the remains as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, the same girl who was reported missing last year, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. Police first found the teen's decomposed body on September 8th after being called to a Hollywood tow yard because of a foul odor coming from the Tesla, which was impounded after a person reported the car abandoned. Law enforcement sources say the remains were not intact, and according to the medical examiner, it appeared the girl, who is described as having wavy black hair and weighing about 71 pounds, had been dead inside the Tesla for an extended period of time.
It's so weird that the police haven't arrested him, haven't interrogated him, questioned him at all, because we all know David is involved in this. A dead, decomposing body of a 14-year-old just doesn't magically appear in your Tesla. Of course, just because he's not being named in anything doesn't mean he's innocent. There is just a ton of evidence against him. After this news broke out, a lot of people started digging into David's past and really started to look at everything with a different perspective, and these people found a lot of things.
With Celeste, I'm not gonna hide the truth from you. This is her. Now I want you to notice a few things, okay? What I'm showing you is a missing persons report because Celeste was missing last year, last seen in Lake Elsinore. Remember that place. Also, I want you to take note of that date of birth, 2010. You don't got to do the math. I'll show you the age right here. So remember, her name's Celeste, last seen Lake Elsinore, peep the age. Now, when all these facts were released by police, people on the internet started to connect some dots. Now, I want you to listen to what I just said. I said people on the internet. Okay, so take some of this with a grain of salt. First things first. There are reports that on David's Discord, he was talking to a girl named Celeste. Here's David. He says, Celeste in here. Celeste said, hi, David, bark. Speaking of David's Discord, apparently Celeste's name popped up a few more times. David said, I'm in a song crisis right now to everyone on his Discord. Somebody said, drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste.
Mind you, this is information that people from the internet found out by digging into David. Could you imagine what real investigators who probably know what to look for have found out about David? I really hope the reason why David hasn't been arrested, brought in for questioning, or interrogated is because the investigators are making a massive case against him. Again, there is so much information connecting David and Celeste, it's unbelievable. I would be more shocked if he was found innocent.
Now, according to TMZ, David has an unreleased song where he's singing about a girl named Celeste. In fact, I believe the song's name was Celeste. Celeste's mom spoke to a reporter. She said, that makes sense. Celeste had a boyfriend named David.
How a 13-year-old goes missing for over a year is something I will never understand. But even if David isn't responsible for the death of Celeste, he is definitely Diddy's disciple. He's a 20-year-old and has a relationship with a 14, 15-year-old girl. Yeah, we all know what he is. He's a goddamn predator.
Where things start to get wicked, because to me, this next part is something. On Reddit, listen closely, before police came out with their reports, when people were trying to figure out, did David do it? Did David not do it? Somebody said, I'll tell you right now, David's a weirdo. They said a close friend's little sister from Lake Elsinore, remember where Celeste was from, was in that grade, remember Celeste's age, ran away last year, remember the missing persons report was from last year, and they believe she was with David. And again, since somebody on Reddit was coming out with this information before police released the information, that means people knew about this.
The fact that people knew David and Celeste had a relationship and didn't say anything is just insane. You can't look me in the eyes and tell me that a 20-year-old in a relationship with a 15-year-old or a 14-year-old is normal. Like, actually, shame on those people who knew.
So the first reason David hasn't been arrested, the police need to do an absolutely thorough investigation. They need to know everything. Now, I understand that a lot of evidence has been found connecting David to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. But the thing is, it's not about how much evidence you have. It's about whether you can prove it to a jury. Now, if this goes to trial, with the lawyer that David's probably going to get, if police walk in and say, yo, we found this Discord chat with David, and a lawyer's just going to be like, prove it. Police would be like, David's lawyer would be like, exit? Is that what you're trying to say? Exit because we leaving. So again, reason number one, David hasn't been arrested. Police need proof to see to what degree did David commit this crime. It could be zero. He could have not committed it. It could be he had a part of it. It could be he did the whole thing.
I said it earlier, but the internet has found a ton of connections between David and Celeste. Just imagine what actual professional investigators are gonna find out about him. They have way more resources than what's actually just on the internet. Let's be honest, he definitely had a part in this whole thing. He could have told someone to do it, he could have hired someone to do it. It still implicates him with Celeste. And keep in mind, the body was found in his Tesla. Like, it was registered to him.
Why I kept telling you, remember, Celeste Rivas Hernandez's full name is because there's another Celeste, both seemingly associated with David. There's Rivas Hernandez, the one that was tragically, and then there's Herrera. She popped up in many live streams with David. People speculated they had a relationship. Now, why I bring this up is because people believe that David's relationship with Herrera was to cover up the fact that he was dating Rivas, whose age is that. So now the court game takes another step, because if police believe that David did it, they need to make sure that this new Celeste is a non-factor in the court of law. If David's lawyers say, no, this is the Celeste that David was in a relationship with, police need to make sure they're on top of that. Maybe going to this Celeste and saying, hey, was your relationship with David real? Was it fake? If she says fake to cover up his relationship with Rivas Hernandez, boom, they got you. You know what I'm saying? Now, side note, some people believe because this new Celeste has appeared, David is completely innocent, to which I say, David could know one Celeste, two Celeste, four Celeste. Celeste Rivas Hernandez was found in his trunk. Keep your eye on the ball. Ain't nobody innocent until you get the evidence. Lock in.
Nah, if he actually used another Celeste to cover up for his crime, then that is actually insane and kinda genius. If people question him about having a relationship with like a 15-year-old Celeste, then he can just say, what Celeste are you talking about? There's another one. But that's if he actually intended for that to happen. And just like he said, it doesn't matter if there's like 100 Celeste, it only matters one that was actually found in his car. That's the one that all of the charges are gonna be about. Hopefully they're actually building an insanely huge case against David, because come on, he's definitely involved in this some way. And I've seen so many people lie about this David situation, saying that David isn't being investigated or that David isn't a suspect so he's innocent. These articles are just clickbait. They say that David isn't a murder suspect and then proceed to say that the LAPD haven't released any suspects. The way they phrase it, it makes it seem like David is innocent because he's not named a suspect, but like that's not really true. Just because you're not a suspect doesn't mean you're innocent. But hopefully the investigators do go on David at some point, maybe in like the next couple of months, because this might take a while. And even if he isn't again related to Celeste at all, like he wasn't involved in it at all, he's still a predator, you feel me? Because like a 20-year-old and a 15-year-old, that's extremely weird. Diddy's disciple.